Much needed rain in Derbyshire's Derwent Valley, but don't be fooled. Like much of England, it is parched with worryingly low water levels in reservoirs. It's been the driest start to a year since 1976, and after 3 heat waves already, the government's National Drought Group is increasingly concerned. It's extended official drought status to the East and West Midlands, which join the North West and Yorkshire, which have been in drought for several weeks.
We need to stop talking about these being extreme weather events and start to accept that because of climate change, things like this are going to be more normal. So as for whether more companies will introduce temporary use bans, that really genuinely depends on what happens with the weather over the next few months.
The Environment Agency's drawn up a reasonable worst-case scenario, showing much of England officially suffering drought or prolonged dry weather by the end of this month. Even with rainfall just 20% below normal and no further heat waves, the situation is expected to deteriorate in August, meaning that by autumn, Devon and Cornwall will be the only regions completely unaffected. Ardingly Reservoir in Sussex is just 3/4 full, a record low for the time of year. Emptying reservoirs and falling river levels make hosepipe bans more likely. Within days, 8 million people in England will have restrictions on their water use. Millions more could be affected in the coming months if the drought worsens. But hosepipe bans reflect a lack of capacity. No reservoirs have been built since 1992. Since then, the population has grown by 12 million people and climate change has only worsened. And water leaks waste precious supplies. On the day the drought was extended, this was South London, where a burst Thames water main closed schools and forced evacuations. 3 billion litres of water are lost every day. That's 1,200 Olympic swimming pools.
We do have a largely Victorian-based supply system. So a lot of our infrastructure is in desperate need of upgrading. In replacement of water mains is of the order of once every 100 years in this country. And that, frankly, is shocking. This is outdated thinking and outdated infrastructure to cope with problems of the now and the future.
The possibility of drought as bad as 1976, when the taps ran dry and people had to queue in the street for water, seems unlikely for now. But pressure is building on the government and on the water companies to explain why drought is becoming the new normal. Thomas Moore, Sky News in Sussex.